See you all today and you can hear me now. I'm Christy and I'm your service leader today. We will start with announcements. I want you to be sure to read your weekly bulletin and monthly communicator because there's lots going on in our church, even though we aren't meeting in person. We have an announcement by Bernie.
On the Sunday before Thanksgiving, it's November 22nd. We passed June. We are having a bake sale, announced this last week, and we have a month before it happens. This week, spend some time thinking about what it is you'd like to bring and sell. We're going to do it as a fundraiser as well. So enjoy your thinking about it. Bye-bye.
Does anyone else have any announcements today?
Hi, I'm Jane Lovejoy, and I just wanted to announce that normally we're doing drop-offs for Lake Care and Open Door on the second Thursday, but I thought for November we could do it with burning and do it on the same day on November 22nd. So I just wanted to let you know, and I'll be putting an article in the communicator so you'll know what to bring. Thank you.
Okay, good idea. Anybody else?
I don't see anyone.
Okay, well, I have a couple of things. Tonight is the 7th lecture in the social justice series, and it'll be Lauren Ritchie she's a former Orlando Sentinel columnist, and she'll be answering the question, how do we keep Lake County government accountable? And you do need to register in advance, and you can look in the weekly bulletin to get that information. And today is also a great opportunity to donate to UUCLC, and you can donate from the link that will be in the chat box. And you can even do it on the website, or you can set up regular payments so you don't even have to think about it anymore. You just automatically have it sent in. Okay, our opening words this morning are from a speech Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. gave in 1967 to the Southern Christian Leadership Conference. He said, quote, "This is where we are. Where do we go from here? First, we must massively assert our dignity and worth. We must stand up against a system that still oppresses and develop an unassailable and majestic sense of values. What is needed is realization that power without love is reckless and abusive, and that love without power is sentimental and anemic. Power at its best is love implementing the demands of justice, and justice at its best is power connecting everything that stands against love. This is what we must see as we move on." Unquote. And because our topic today is about heroic people, I have a quote by politician Bob Riley. He said, "Hard times don't create heroes. It's during the hard times that the hero within us is revealed." So we're honored today. You've already been hearing our speaker, singer-songwriter David Roth, one of our favorites, and he will deliver today's message. You may recall back in January, David performed an awesome, inspiring concert in our beautiful building, and we will return there someday. David's clever lyrics, no doubt, will impact you. Some tickle your funny bones, and others may move you to tears. Our opening hymn is one of David's recent pandemic originals called Ready for Change.
Good morning, everybody. It's great to be with you again, such as it is. You know, I know some people have Zoom fatigue, but I consider this kind of a miracle that we can even get together like this. So are you ready to sing a song you've never heard before? And if you happen to be sharing a room with somebody, you could take a look at them right now and say, "I can't wait to hear you sing along with David." Very good. And this is what's called a call and response song. So when I sing something, you just can sing, if you choose to, sing back what I sang, and that's how you know the song. And I don't know about you, it seems appropriate to sing a song called Ready for Change. I'm ready for change. I'm ready to move. There's no one to blame. There's too much to do. I'm ready to go, to get back on track. It's time to move on, and there's no turning back. It's my sacred job to strike some kind of chord, to challenge and help, not dismiss or ignore. Everyone gets a chance, with nothing to prove. And when I do my part, then the mountain will move. I'm ready to roll up my sleeves with passion and purpose, and we can achieve the high promise of truth and the fight for what's fair, to see that all people get their fair share. So I'm ready for change. I'm ready to go. It's long overdue, and the debt that we owe. Everyone gets a chance, with nothing to prove. And when I do my part, then the mountain will move. And I do my part, then the mountain will move. I'm ready for change.
Thank you. We are too. We're all ready, I think. The Unitarian Universalist Congregation of Lake County welcomes you. We are an inclusive, non-creedal fellowship that works for a just community and fosters a lifelong search for personal spiritual fulfillment. Our Unitarian heritage calls us to recognize the inherent good of all persons. And the Universalist part of our tradition encourages us to extend love and acceptance to all people and beings. You are welcome here, whatever your gender identity, your sexual orientation, your racial identity, or your class is. We are glad each and every one of you are here today. I especially welcome any first-time visitors or those who have returned after a long absence. If you're comfortable enough to introduce yourself or your visitors and care to, please wave your hand and you can unmute when you're called on. Is there anyone?
There's Karen. Mhm. Karen, you need to unmute.
Okay, am I unmuted?
Yes.
Good. Karen Woolhouse. It's been 4 years since I was last living in Lake County, but I'm back and really glad to see so many familiar faces. So look forward to seeing more of you all. Thanks, Christy.
Yes. That's so nice to see you. So you're back here in Lake County.
For the winter, yes.
All right. Well, I'm in Michigan, so with Zoom, you can be anywhere. Anybody else?
Yes, Janice. Unmute, Janice. There you go.
My name is Janice White. I'm moved down to Leesburg from Milwaukee, Wisconsin. I had formerly been a Lutheran. I have no comfort in that church anymore, and I am hopeful to find a community at the Unitarian Church.
Well, welcome. I think you're in the right place.
Thank you.
I hope. Anybody else?
I don't see any other hands.
Okay. Well, it's so nice to all be together again, albeit with Zoom. We are together. The lighting of our chalice is a moment shared by UU congregations around the world. As we kindle this flame, may it spark in each of us connection to each other and a commitment to our work for this congregation and for our community and the world. Let's sing Spirit of Life together with our mics muted.
Christy, you need to unmute.
Okay, thank you. We make time each Sunday for those who wish to offer a joy, concern, or sorrow, or to set an intention for the coming days. This portion of our service will not be recorded, but let Pete's beautiful flute music draw you into mindfulness. Let us say our congregational covenant together. Love is the spirit of this church, and service is its law. This is our great covenant, to dwell together in peace, to seek the truth in love, and to help one another. Okay, we will now have our message from David.
Again, good morning, everybody. It's an honor to be with you. And my talk this morning, it's called A Sermon and Song, is called Ordinary People Do Extraordinary Things. And it could be subtitled, Can One Person Make a Difference in This World? I would answer yes to that, even though it sometimes seems a little hard to believe with what's going on in the world. So I'm going to sing 4 songs during the sermon part of this service, and all of them are based on true stories. And if you hear any names, those are the actual names of the people involved. I like to call these the heroes and sheroes of the world. We'll start here with a song that started is based on an event that occurred in Florida. True stories. Jessica Robles, a single young mother, was struggling to feed her 3 kids. She went to the market without any money. Family had fallen on hardship. She put what she needed right into her shopping cart. Did not take one extra thing. Some milk and some meatballs, some hamburger helper, canned corn, peaches, and chicken wings. Her kids were so hungry, she had to do something. Never had planned to be poor. She didn't know who else she could turn to. Rolled that cart right out the door. That's where a policewoman saw Jessica Robles and caught her red-handed in this. I can't go to jail, Jessica sobbed and she pleaded. Who'll take care of my kids? Officer Thomas saw a much bigger picture, much larger than milk or than bread. Arresting this mother would solve nobody's problems. She had a notion instead. She pulled out her wallet and took out 620s, paid for those groceries in full. When others got wind of the story, more money came pouring in for Jessica Robles. A woman named Mayra gave $200. She said, I've been right where she is. One of the local businesses kicked in with 500 more for her kids. When that story appeared on the late evening news, someone watching offered Jessica a job. To say she was grateful would not scratch the surface. Went down to her very last straw. The world may seem random and bad things may happen without rhyme or reason, it seems. But now and again, something stunning reminds me that goodness is more than a dream. Goodness is more than a dream. Goodness is more than a dream. Sing that with me, even though you're muted. Goodness is more than a dream. I love that story. And I guess I love all these stories about these ordinary people doing extraordinary things. You know, I've been a full-time musician and singer and songwriter for over 3 decades. Chicago born and raised, and every once in a while something comes to me that is too precious for words. And about 12 years ago, a fan letter poured in. And if you've never heard me before, this will tell you all you need to know about the man who is speaking and singing to you this morning. It's by a 9-year-old girl who was dragged to one of my concerts against her will, I imagine, by her well-intending parents, thinking she might gain positive benefit from spending some time with the likes of me. And here's the paper she wrote for school, which her dad sent me a month later, thinking I'd get a kick out of it. Well, I've read this at every concert, and all my concerts in your sanctuary as well, but I'll read it one more time in case you are new to my work. David Roth by Alana Baldwin. David Roth is my hero. I was as surprised as you might be. He's a great singer, songwriter, guitar player, and he sang at my parents' wedding, which I did. David Roth writes funny songs and inspiring songs. His funny songs make people that are even down in the dumps laugh. His inspiring songs like Yes We Can, Practice Makes Progress. I hope he didn't say perfect. And some others make me have confidence, courage, C-O-A-R-A-G-E, and encouragement. Encouragement. Well, I knew exactly what she meant about my songs giving her encouragement, but I loved this word, and I immediately put it into the David Roth Imaginary Digital Dictionary. And if you look there, if you can gain access, you will see encouragement, to have courage. And if you look at that word on paper, what I realized when I saw that was what having courage means. Courage is courage without the rage. So Alana gave me a great gift that day by telling me about encouragement. So I take encouragement and courage from all the people who populate these songs. Now we're going to go to Africa for our next song, and this, I've transformed my beautiful carbon fiber guitar into kind of a kalimba and a kora, the African kind of instruments. You'll hear a different kind of sound than a regular guitar, but it will hopefully transport us to the shores of Africa. Again, a true story, and one person doing something just amazing that changed not only the village she lived in, the country where the village was, the continent that held the country, the planet that held the continent, but she changed maybe the biggest thing anybody could ever change in this world or this life, her own life. Did I tell you this is a true story? Years ago, in the country of Kenya, they were cutting down trees till very few remained. The topsoil disappeared, the land became a desert. Life was hard to sustain. The women of the villages would go in search of firewood. Branches were scarce in this ocean of sand. One woman, Wangari, saw this taking place. She said, we must take care of our land. So she planted a tree and planted another, in hope she might see a little change begin. She also saw before her a giant undertaking, and so she organized her friends. They were part of the movement, recovering their land, bringing back the roots of Kenya from the sand. They were moving to make their homeland green, women planting trees. With a bag of seeds, she showed her about planting more trees, an act for which she paid them a small sum, a giant leap, and soon Wangari organized the women of the Kenyan nation. They were part of the movement, recovering their land, bringing back the roots of Kenya from the sand. They were moving to make their homeland green. Sing with me, women planting trees. And something else was happening, empowerment and strength. And this was threatening to the men who made the rules. Wangari and her women friends were making real changes, so the policemen came and broke their tools. But they never broke her spirit, even though they tried. They accused her of subversion. They arrested her for crimes she carried on in spite of them, and kept on planting trees, saplings of pride and possibility. They were part of the movement, recovering their land, bringing back the roots of Kenya from the sand. They were moving to make their homeland green, women planting trees. A little gathering wood music. 30 years later, in this country of Kenya, 30 million new trees under African skies, and Wangari is the first African woman to win the Nobel Peace Prize. She began the movement, recovering her land, bringing back the roots of Kenya from the sand. She was moving to make her homeland green, women planting trees. They were part of the movement, recovering the land, bringing back the roots of Kenya from the sand. They were moving to make their homeland green, women planting trees, women planting trees. Okay. I love that story. I've already said that, haven't I? Yeah. I love this story too. And this morning I'm playing mostly songs I've never played in your actual sanctuary before, but this one I have played, and I played it just about every concert and church service, conference, you name it, that I've been to. A song also written in Florida, and I had a beautiful lunch on Dr. Martin Luther King Sunday in 2014 with two women with different abilities, and I know you know what that means. The evolution of language has changed over the years from what I call the R word to differently abled. Back in the old days, they used to say handicapped. I say people with different abilities. And these two women had the courage to ask me out to lunch after our church service that morning at the River of Grass UU Fellowship in Davie, Florida, because they wanted me to write a song for them. And Mary Jo Perone who was born with developmental disabilities, and Carol Rudinsky, who was born with cerebral palsy, were both in their late 50s, as I was in 2014. And I said, what can I do for you, ladies? Well, we'd like you to write a song for us. And I said, what kind of song? She says, well, and it took them a lot of courage to bring this up, but they finally revealed that they were just exhausted by the way people made fun of them their whole lives long everywhere they went, because they walked differently and looked differently than most people in this world. And the more they told me, the more I wrote things down. And 2 hours later, I had this song, and I made them co-writers on the song, so that when the album came out the next year, they saw their names right next to mine on a song called Mary Jo and Carol. Mary Jo got a job down at the fast food joint. She was happy for the work. Mary Jo was put on fries. She's been making them for years. This is her specialty. Mary's special, very special. When you're making fries, you see a lot of people. You get to be up front, right by the counter. You get to talk to customers. You get to look outside. And Mary Jo delighted in her job. The new manager they got was someone younger. It didn't seem that this person understood that Mary Jo was just a little different, but as good as any worker that this place had ever had. One day the boss told Mary Jo to make the special meal, Happy Meals, and sent her to the back part of the store. And this person also used that word, retarded. And the meals weren't so happy anymore. Mary Jo says, all I really want to be treated just like everybody else. Consider my abilities. I am competent, I work hard, and I help. Carol is another special person, compassionate and friendly, creative, fun and kind. But she never liked a single day of school. Kids made fun of her. Oh, they made fun of her. When she grew up, she felt it was important to make a difference for people just like her. So Carol told her story to a singer, so he could sing their story to the world. Carol says, all I really want to be treated just like everybody else. Consider my abilities. I am competent, I work hard, and I help. Mary Jo and Carol are good friends, and they do things together just like you and me. So if you ever see someone who's making fun of people like them, think who has the disability. So those two gals made a difference for me, for sure. They changed my life by coming into my life, by having the courage to invite me to lunch and to make me an offer I couldn't understand. So I love them for that, and we've remained friends to this day. So I've got one more, if I can squeeze in one more song this morning before we go on with the service. And this is also based on a true story. This took place in Northern California in the late 1980s. before I play it, just a real quick quote that I found this morning as I was looking through my papers. A beautiful quote. If he can find it. Always the question. Here somewhere. I don't know about you, but you know, so I've spent so much time in my home office that I tend to get a little messy. Here we go. I got it right here. This is beautiful. Benjamin Franklin. Well done is better than well said. The athletes had come from all over the country to run for the gold, for the silver and bronze. Many the weeks and the months of their training, and all coming down to these games. The spectators gathered around the old field, cheer on all those young women and men. And the final event of the day was approaching. Excitement grew high to begin. The blocks were all lined up for those who would use them. The 100-yard dash was the race to be run. There were 9 resolved athletes in back of the starting line, poised for the sound of the gun. And the pistol exploded, so did runners, all charging ahead. But the smallest among them, he stumbled and staggered, and fell to the asphalt instead. He gave out a cry in frustration and anguish. His dreams and his efforts all dashed in the dirt. But as sure as I'm standing here telling the story, the same goes for what next occurred. The 8 other runners pulled up on their heels, the ones who had trained for so long to compete. They all turned around and they went back to help him and brought that young boy to his feet. Then all the 9 runners joined hands and continued the 100-yard dash, now reduced to a walk. And a banner above that said Special Olympics could not have been more on the mark. For that's how the race ended, with 9 gold medals. They came to the finish line holding hands still, and a standing ovation and 9 beaming faces said more than these words ever will. That's how the race ended, 9 gold medals. They came to the finish line holding hands still, and a banner above that said Special Olympics said more than these words ever will. So much more than these words ever will. And I hope you get the sense of these extremely ordinary, extraordinary people doing such amazing work in this world, the ones who don't get all the headlines or the attention or the spotlight. Joan Baez, one of my sheroes, I had another quote I'd like to end with, again with my thanks for your kind attention. She said that action is the antidote to despair. So now I'll turn it back over to you, Christy, as we continue on in the service.
Okay. Thank you for your touching musical messages and beautiful songs and beautiful way of looking at people. Thank you. I warned you all about the tears. I don't know about you, but I have some. It is our practice to give generously to our church as we are able and in keeping in mind both its meaning in our lives and in the world today. We hope that those who have more will give more so that those who have less can still participate fully in our congregation. There are various ways to give on the screen right now or in the chat box or on your website. And David will offer the closing words today.
I realized that I went off script here briefly. I dropped my script and I see that I omitted the hymn after my talk. So if I may, I'll play one more song and then give you my closing words. I hope there's time for that. I'll look to Christy for a nod up and down, or I just do the closing words. A
Yes,
nod.
no,
There you go.
go for it.
The
There's
way I
time.
figure is we're here. Why not take advantage of this time together? All right, so here is my hymn, or my her, if you prefer. A song that was inspired by a talk I heard by Robert F. Kennedy Jr., who was a member of the Kennedy family, but not a politician, an environmental activist, attorney. And I was so moved by his keynote speech, and he did not use notes one time. He spoke for 3 hours about his passion for the environment and how in the early 2000s we were not good stewards of this planet. The next day, I wrote this song. I stand for love, stand for peace, I stand for joy and for release, for what is beautiful and true. I stand for hope, I stand for you. I stand for love, I stand for peace, I stand for joy and for release, for what is beautiful and true. I stand for hope, I stand for you. You know our world is in great pain, she needs our loving care again. But there are those who fail to see what we have done and what we need. There is a cost for every act, and now there is no turning back. We burn a bridge, we bang a drum. It's time to rise, the time has come to stand for love, to stand for peace, to stand for joy and for release, for what is beautiful and true, to stand for hope, to stand for you. And if you're thinking it's not urgent, that we've got more time to kill, if I'm not the one who will change things, then for heaven's sake, who will? So I will move, and I will climb this mountain one step at a time. I won't be swayed, I will not stop until we've made it to the top, where we will stand for love and peace, we'll stand for joy and for release, for what is beautiful and true. We'll stand for hope, we'll stand for you, for what is beautiful and true. I stand for hope, I stand for you. And for closing words, a short story. In January of 2017, I was on my annual tour of Florida, where I last saw many of you. Different city, a different town every night for a couple of weeks. I've been doing this for 15 plus years. This was a Monday night in 2017, and I was performing at a church for about 30 or 40 people, doing the kinds of original songs I've been doing for decades. At the end of the evening, one of the people who came up to me said three things to me in rapid succession. She said, "I've never heard you before until tonight. I was very moved, and I voted for," and she named one of the candidates running for president in 2016. I said, "Why would you tell me that you voted for one person or the other? Or why would you tell me that you voted for this person?" She said, "Because you didn't." And I said, "I'm pretty sure I never said who I voted for in my concert tonight, or even mentioned the word politics or political party." And she paused and said, "Well, it was in all of your songs." And I paused and I said, "Okay, let's hit rewind here for a minute. Tonight I was singing about peace and social justice, compassion, respect, helping the underserved, protecting the environment, being neighborly, stepping up for one another, embracing the human family. And from this, you figured out who I voted for." And another long pause. She extended her hand. It was kind of shaking a little bit. I took it. She said, "Thank you for speaking with me." I said, "We need to speak with one another, always."
Wow. We need that even more this year, even more. Thank you. We extinguish this chalice flame, daring to carry forward the vision of this free faith that freedom, reason, justice, and love, joy, and peace will one day prevail in this nation and across the earth. For our closing hymn today, please go to gallery view if you are not already there and join hands with the person next to you and give them a squeeze of love. And we are going to be joining David as he helps us to sing "My Voice Matters." And that's our closing hymn. So sing along as you can. There's a chorus in the chat room if you want to.
I almost forgot. Thanks for reminding me. Another song from Florida. I wrote this with 65 people with different abilities, and you can sing along too. I'll help you. It goes like this. My voice matters. My voice counts. Get to know what I am all about. No more labels, fears or doubts. My voice matters. My voice counts. You got it? I'll help you. Here we go. My voice matters. My voice counts. My voice counts. Get to know what I'm all about. Get to know what I am all about. No more labels. No more labels. Fears or doubts. Fears or doubts. My voice matters. My voice counts. We're all different, and we're the same. We all have challenges. We all have dreams. My dreams are important, just like yours. We can teach each other. We can teach the world. Here we go. That my voice matters. My voice counts. I can see who's singing and who isn't. Last verse. And I am powerful. Wait, is that the I'm gonna have to look in the chat here to make sure what the words are down to the last verse. Are they in there? Yes. Oh no, it's just a bunch of thank yous. I'll go to the other page. Boy, talk about breaking momentum. But this is part of being human. Here we go. Oh, I am gifted. Yes. How could I forget this line? Because this was a line written by a man in a wheelchair. Here we go. We're back, and it was worth it because I would not have wanted to omit this line. I am gifted. I am strong. There we go. We are powerful. One and all. And we are determined to make a change. All are equal, all the same. Here we go, last chorus. My voice matters, my voice counts, my voice counts. Get to know what I'm all about, get to know what I am all about. No more labels, no more labels, fears or doubts. My voice matters, my voice matters, my voice counts. No more labels, fears